Good evening, everyone. Hopefully you are having a good night so far. We will be getting not so right into things, because there was a little bit of a delay before. There's a little bit of trouble getting everyone in, but we are good to go now. So, we have the matchup here is Fatality versus Vulcan, which you will have more than likely seen in the title of the stream or in the game day channel. But anyway, we will be jumping right into the bans here, as Thatcher will be the first ban. Thatcher's banned a lot at the moment, as he is just a press one button to delete a lot of utility. Press one button to delete a bunch of utility in one area, which a lot of teams think is just a little bit too strong. Monty will be the first ban from Vulcan. I have seen Vulcan ban Monty quite a bit beforehand, as I don't think they like to play against him, as he can just be a nuisance sometimes, and it does make defending a lot harder there. Vulcan's defensive ban will be Mirror, however, so that is a pretty standard ban, as it is just one extra thing that the defense has to get rid of, and then Echo being banned by Fatality is also another extra thing that you just have to get rid of before you can start trying to set up for a site push. I would assume you would see either kitchen or top floor as the first defense, and we do indeed see kitchen. So Fatality opting to go kitchen over third floor. A lot of teams have been doing that recently, as they just test the waters with kitchen, as realistically if you can win kitchen then you're probably going to win the next round as well, because you'll be going top floor, so you're in a decent position. We will be jumping right into the round, however, as Fatality will more than likely set up for pretty standard defense here. I would expect to see maybe one person top floor, but more than likely just one person sitting over in coat, free on site, and then the other person just roaming over on the northeast corner, roughly, of bottom floor. As instead you might just have the one person play over in coat hanger and have free on site, one behind.
10 seconds left.
One in cupcake, I don't know. As Legion looks like he's going to play above, so you will have one person playing above.
Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
As the castle will play in coat hanger. So makes pretty standard setup so far from this defense. Be interesting to see how this attack tries to get rid of it. I more than likely expected a lot of them to start pushing top floor just to clear out this Legion, because once you've cleared out that Legion then you have full reign over top floor. Looking at what Vulcan have brought here, they probably expected it to be a top floor hold, as otherwise they would have assumed they would have brought either a sledge or a buck for the soft destruction, but with the amount of breaching charges they have, I'm sure it will still be fine. As yeah, Crush is already in to train and is just getting some vertical gameplay. I do believe they know that the Legion is playing on second floor as well, but I don't know if they know exactly where. That drone will have seen it, and that shot will definitely have averted it. However, Zofia not quite being able to hit the shots does mean that tilted will go down. Will get a kill early. And Crush, you are down to your Zofia now, very early. However, Andrew gets one of his own, so that will be a trade back. Losing your castle, that is the majority of your pressure onto hallway gone. We'll just be able to run in and melee. It's bulletproof. No, melee won't hit, so we'll just have to shoot it. As there are still several players on top floor, or on second floor, sorry. As Tiltek will be taken out, so that will be my advantage going in favor of Vulcan now. as the vertical play will start to come out quite heavily. However, Scobes finding Helios does mean that you are down your IQ. As the vertical play hasn't really worked out there, Scobes finding 3 in total. That will be Physics and Andrew going down. So the vertical play going against them there, as BTs will find the first in this 1v3. It will be Scobes finally going down. However, hitting the goal mine will give away the position more than likely to the defense, as they should have heard him hit it, but it shouldn't count. But they will have known already where he was because he shot camera, and it probably saw him before he shot it. One is now playing Coat Heiner, and it is Bandit. So Bandit could catch him out here, as Andrew probably called beforehand that Coat Hanger was clear. And that will be Mob finding the final kill for Fatality. So really good play there from Scobes, just being able to peek up and get the 3k, getting 2 kills vertically, and then Andrew's over in Small Bakery. Does not bode well for Vulcan there. Good defensive setup, and then intelligent play there for that Bandit after hallway was clear, because the Nomad went down to move into Cone, as the Thermite was not expecting someone to be there, as the call would have been that the person playing in Coat was dead, because he was, but Bandit moved there, so Thermite didn't check it, and in turn died. We will now be going to 3rd floor bar and cocktail, which a lot of people do think is the best site. I'd say it's probably equal with kitchen, but it all depends on realistically what playstyle you have and just what you prefer. Interesting thing is no smoke, so I would be expecting more than likely this mute to be playing in bathroom, just making it very difficult for the attack to get white hallway control, and also playing in Pixel maybe, as it's a pretty standard setup. So far, nothing out of the ordinary. The only thing that you don't see too often on this site is a castle, but a lot of teams, but quite a few teams have started opting for it as of late, just because he offers that super shorty, which is a very solid secondary to just get open some holes. This attack geared up does look like they'll be going for a hard cigar push, maybe have one person on the roof or on the east side rappel, but for the most part we'll just be going for this cigar push, as there are 2 people currently stacked up on cigar window. Ash might go for a hot breach, I'm not too sure, as the drone just making 100% sure that the drone isn't just making sure that 100% that there's no one playing over in garage, as the breaching charge will be shot out because there's a mute jammer. They will just instead opt for a Zofia impact grenade to open up that castle. Will start peeking in, doesn't quite see the head of the person of, I believe, Castle. Castle could find a pick here, however Andrew will catch out Jaeger. I do believe he was playing over in Pixel, he was, so must have just pushed slightly too forwards, exposing himself to the window, and in turn he got taken out. As Castle gets droned out, we'll try and rotate out, but will more likely die in the process. So there are people on both windows. That will be Andrew's second for the round, taking out the Castle as well. As Fatality and looking like they're in a pretty bad position here. There is getting down to a minute left in the round, however, so they could, if they played their cards right, still win this, as if they can just stall Vulcan out enough to the point where they are, to the point where they have to rush into sight, then it's still quite winnable, especially with the Maestro left on the board. One thing that's interesting is the fact that they still have someone playing downstairs or lights up. Andrew, actually no, only hits 1 bullet. But that will deter him from pushing downstairs, as he will more likely try and push up top, but actually no, it doesn't look like he is. 2 nitro cells left on the board for this Fatality defense. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do with them. As Maestro gets stunned out, we'll run in and Crush will find the headshot. Crush pushes in, finding a second headshot. That will be Mob going down. So it is now a 1v5 situation. The Nitro Cell going off will be the planter. But that Vulcan will just pick it up and start planting again. As Scopes did give away his position. Not quite being able to get through that red hole at first. Physics dropping down. Will be able to find the pick as the Mute, not expecting him to be down there, was looking up at the balcony. So that will be Vulcan picking up the second round of this game, looking a lot better that round than they did in the first one. Just not. This time it was Crush getting the very good, impressive play, just stunning the Maestro, then just pushing in, killing him, and then immediately afterwards getting the Mozzie. So it's been a mix between Scopes. First round Scopes popped off, second round Crush did well. So be interesting to see who comes out on top for this one. Fatality though, they really do need to try and not get picked off so early in Cigar if they want a chance at trying to win, as the main reason Crush was capable of doing what he did is because the defense just played a little bit too aggro on the on Cigar. Obviously Castle just sitting in a pretty much suicidal position, as there's not really any chance for you to get out there if you stay there when 2 windows are open. And then the Jaeger was just taken out early by peeking out when he shouldn't have, which is just unlucky. So we will be seeing a very similar setup to what we did last time. The interesting thing to take note of will be whether Apex does opt to sit just behind piano half wall, or whether he opts to just go play site somewhere. As we are seeing I would assume we are seeing another Cigar focused attack, as they are using utility already. Impact going out to get rid of the Mute Jammer, but Apex once again playing on that piano half wall. It does mean that he can be. This is a position where you either get fragged and do well, or you just get fragged. So a lot of teams don't opt to play this sort of position just because it's too much risk for the reward. But clearly Fatality comfortable in their ability to be able to either get the frag or cope if they lose it. As his position has been given away, peeking out, not knowing that IQ's in, will just be immediately taken out, but does light up Andrew, so that is the first frag going to Vulcan again. As Apex is playing in that position, hasn't worked a second time in a row now. Jaeger playing a Pixel will have the shield destroyed, so he is gonna have to play a little bit more passive, but we'll still just be holding the angle. So he will just be we'll just be waiting for someone to peek their head round and then get the kill before falling back, I would assume, as Andrew peeks around, does get injured, or Jaeger go for trying to finish him off. Will finish the Nomad off, but will be taken out in return. Scopes, however, finding one of his own. That will be Crush taken down, as he was in Cigar Shop, I do believe. Scopes peeking out, getting another one, so that will be a double kill on the run for Scope. Popping off with that SMG-11. If this continues, it could be a almost replication of first round, as Ash peeking round, able to land the shot needed to take the Scope out. So that will be the amount of advantage going back equal for these two sides, as health advantage very equal, probably at most 10 in it, as the Ash is a little bit below 75 and the Valkyrie is a little bit above. Maestro playing over at top of White Stairs is quite vulnerable, as the plant will start to go down, so He will drop down and start to try and flank through bathroom. Ash expecting it though. We'll be able to find the pick. However, Valkyrie might snake her way through as she was crouched, so couldn't quite see her over the bar. Could the Ash of physics, but luckily BT's on the thermite, able to just peek out and find her head. So it didn't go too well. Didn't end up going too well for that Valkyrie. Good round there from Vulcan, despite scopes popping off. Were able to find the win. Just able to get those couple. Just able to able to get those first 2 picks. Obviously on the people playing over by Cigar, and then after, even though Scopes got a double kill, tried his best to win the round for his team, just couldn't quite, as the rest of his team was forced over into cocktail pretty much. Plant went down, and then they just couldn't really retake properly, as the Maestro's movement were predicted. We will now, however, see another kitchen defense, as that is the site. That is the only site so far that Fatality have won. It makes sense to opt to go back there instead of trying to go somewhere else. The interesting thing this time will be to see whether Scopes can pull off the same play as he did last time. Obviously, getting that 3k with the SMG-11 or headshot in very rapid succession was very helpful for his team, to say the least. As Vulcan, so we'll see if he can replicate that. I would expect to be seeing a very similar, if not the same setup here from Fatality, as there's no real reason to change it. However, it looks like Scopes instead will be playing over in garage type area instead of over in bakery. So he did get that 3k last time from bakery. 2 of them were vertical, but still got it from thing. Not really an opportunity to play vertically where he is sitting, so it'll be interesting to see quite what happens. As top floor will be cleared Vulcan will attempt to clear top floor very quickly, as Vigil getting wall banged there. Too busy, too distracted with the drone to notice the IQ with a scanner out shooting at him. So good play there from Helios, waiting for the drone to be sent in so he activates the ability, and then just IQ scans in. So good job there from Vulcan to be able to clear that so quickly, as the vertical play will now start to come out. Or Mozzie, being top floor, will try to find a pick, but not being able to, as he will be taken down. Now Florent also taken out, but physics is traded back, so man advantage still significantly in favor of this Vulcan side, as Apex will be failed will be failed as well, as it is a 1v4 situation, and Scopes just not being able to find the kill. So that will be a 3rd round in a row now for this Vulcan side. As the worst I can do now is come out of this half at a 3-3 split. But looking at how that last round just went, and the round looking at how top floor went, they should probably be able to pick up one more if Fatality go back to top floor. I think the one thing that didn't work there for Fatality is losing the Vigil early, just because he got scanned through the wall and taken out by IQ is not great. But I think the biggest issue there is because there was no shotgun play over in prep, in like bakery prep type area. They were able to just find the frag and push in. As if I think Scopes should probably have just gone and played over in bakery like he did the first round, as Vulcan, other than the vertical play, have been heavily focusing on going for that side of the map. So if Scopes goes back over and plays in the same spot he did last time, I don't think it would be advisable. So it'll be interesting to see quite what he does. I would expect to see one player up top again, like they have been for the last couple times, for the last couple rounds they played
5
here,
seconds to
so
insertion.
it'll be interesting to see whether they send a second up or whether it will just be one,
Attackers
as
must
that's
locate and defuse a bomb.
it's an interesting Valkyrie camera, as I didn't think you could get it inside, so it will just count a little bit, but so nice. That's one that a lot of teams use. It is good just because no one really checks there, because it's a wall with no windows that high up, so there's not really any reason to look there. But oh, Mob trying to throw his third Valkyrie camera will be taken out as Andrew capitalizes on him exposing a tiny bit of his head and will find the frag. Very good job, very good reactions there from Andrew, as I'm sure it would have had to been, as I'm sure there would have been very limited time for him to shoot, for him to find the head, but he is able to do it. So, Scobes this time opting to play in prep room with the shotgun, finds Andrew as he pushes in and then finds the head of the Ash. So Scobes with a double kill there does swing momentum back in favor of Fatality, as I do believe this, as I think this is probably the best spot for him to be playing. However, the breaching charge going off directly above him does stun him enough to the point where he can't, to the point where Crush can find the kill. However, Floro on the Jaeger able to find one, will be immediately refragged by Crush though, as that is the Jaeger going down. BT's able to find one, as the bandit was left all on his lonesome, and that will be the round going to Vulcan. So Vulcan, worst they can do now is come out of this half with a round lead. The best they can do is come out of this round with a strong round lead. So it'll be interesting to see what Fatality do here. Fatality opting for the kitchen. Actually, no, they're going third floor. So interesting, Fatality last round not opting for second floor. So that will mean that Fatality will have only played first and third. I don't quite know why you wouldn't at least try a second floor site in this scenario, as you've lost Cigar, you've lost Bar and Cocktail twice, and you've lost Bar and Cocktail twice, and then you've lost Kitchen twice there. So I don't quite know why you wouldn't just try the middle floor site, but it'll be interesting to see whether they can put up a better fight this time than they did last time, or whether they will just be taken out as they, or will the Vulcan will just be able to dispatch the defense like they did the last two times they attacked here. I think the key thing, as it was the last time Fatality tried to defend here, is to just not lose. Is to honestly just stop putting Apex in that position where he's either gonna get kills or die, or he's either gonna get kills or get killed. Is 2 rounds in a row it's not worked out, and because of that 2 rounds in a row, you have lost man advantage very, very early. So it'll be interesting. Interesting camera there. A lot of teams go to throw, a lot of Valkyries throw the cameras on top of the lights, as it can just make it a little bit harder to see for the attackers, plus no attacker would really be looking on top of it. But Crush finding the early pick there, that will be Legion taken out of Scobes, try to go for an aggressive run out there, did not work out for him. Physics taken very low, but having someone go very low compared to losing someone is very favorable for the team who didn't lose a player.
A bomb has been located.
As thankfully Apex has opted to go and play in Freezer instead of playing in Cigar. That was a nice shot there from Tiltek, finding the head of Andrew, so that will be the man advantage going back to nil, as Andrew's just taken out, trying to upside down repel, find an angle onto the head of the person playing Pixel, but instead just has his head taken off. As the Ying Candelas will come out, force the Bandit to play a little bit more, force the Bandit to try and pull back and play defensively. However, the Ying able to just push in and find the frag. Ying is in a very dangerous position here, as she is extremely low on HP. I do believe she's just a couple. You could probably count her HP on one hand, so she's got to be very careful of those Maestro Evil Eyes. As they will one tap her. Apex able to find the kill onto Helios though. There's man advantage once again going equal, as this Maestro does get lit up. Interesting to see whether this defense can win it out, or Sophia taking a little bit of damage from Maestro, still just playing behind that last minibar in far more, able to take out Physics as he was extremely low on HP, able to run take one shot. BT's getting the plant down and then getting a kill of his own, so that will be mob going down as BT's stuck in freezer. This Maestro going for the defuse, or the disable on the defuse, will be taken out, as it is now a 1v1 as Thermite's injured. Be interesting to see who can win this out, but it will be crushed. So that will be Vulcan taking a 5-1 lead at the switch. So Vulcan in a very good position here to win this map very quickly, as they do just need to take 2 rounds here on defense, which is very easy to do. Normally on a map like Kafe, as there are 2 sites that most people do usually win on the defense, as they will be going 3rd floor bar cocktail first. So doing something different there to Fatality. Fatality obviously opting for the bar. It did throw them off a little bit, but Vulcan just opting to go for their favourite site off the top floor. One of the interesting things here is that they're bringing Wamai over a Jaeger, but also you are seeing the mute. You're also seeing the mute Goyo combo. A lot of people have been running that recently, as it is just a solid strategy. Putting the mute jabber behind Goyo shield just means you can put them in pretty strong positions without having to put them out in the open. But instead, Physics will just put 2 of them in positions that allow defenders to play in some of those power positions while being a little bit safer. So, and also play in positions when usually you would see people hard push. So, Wamai will be playing picks by the looks of it. He was brought, looking at the setup here, has been brought just for his shield. Was brought over Jaeger for the shield, as obviously Jaeger doesn't have that anymore. It got replaced for a bulletproof camera a little while ago. One thing that'll be interesting will be how exactly this Fatality roster try and deal with this attack, as the grid blocks, as one of the track stingers will be thrown onto red stairs just to try and deny flanks. The drone will come out, won't see the mute, as it will get mute jammed, but I do believe it heard the shotgun shells. As the track stinger does go off, give away the position of Andrew, who is caught in the reload, as Fluoro did just drop. However, Scopes was taken out. So that does mean everyone has 4 players, so both teams down 1 man. So still in the favour of the defense here. Obviously, defense always. The only time defense isn't really in control of the round is when they are down a man. As you still have to push onto site as an attacker, which means if you're equal, usually the defense can win, because usually they will be able to get the first pick and then trade from there. But Maestro peeking, probably unadvisable as he's taken out. However, Goyo of Physics is able to find that gridlock, but it is then immediately refragged by Tiltek, playing Habana over in Cigar. So it's not like 2v3 situation for Vulcan, as they are going to need to try and find a frag here at some point, as the wall will get opened up. Nitrous are going off. We'll try and find damage, but won't be able to find anything, as this Habana does keep will keep trying to swing down this white hallway, see if she can catch anyone out. It'd be a shock to her if she did swing. At one point, I just see a Mute there with a shotgun. As for the most part, Mute would probably be winning that. Just be trying to get pre-fired. Mute switching to white, makes a mistake, switches to the SMG-11 instead of just sticking with the shotgun. So he's taken out, and then Tiltech pushing up does find the third kill for the round, taking out the one might as well. Yeah, the Mute made a little bit of a mistake there. If he would have stuck to that shotgun, probably would have been able to win that fight, as he will have been able to one-shot the Habana, but tries to switch to SMG-11, thinking that the gunfight would be a little bit further away, and it's not quite working out for them. As we will see kitchen and service being brought now for Vulcan, so the losing that round, just opting instead, as they only need 1 to 2 outburst draw in. Just opt to go downstairs, showing the alibi, but will pick it to the vigil. This will be very difficult for Fatality to clear, as they don't have an IQ
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused
or
by
any other
attackers.
sort of hard room to know, like a Jackal, Dokubi, anything like that. It'll be interesting to see how they try and deal with him. The other interesting thing is the fact that realistically they're running the Jaeger as well, so Jaeger could go upstairs and help him roam, or he can play somewhere else. Plus also the Goyo being brought will mean that there are the chances to find those, to find over a lot of damage, all those rare picks on the
10
attackers.
seconds remaining.
If they try and push up, you can just dink the Goyo shield. And the damage and fire will do quite a bit of damage to them. So,
Attackers must locate
don't
and
usually at
defuse the
high
bomb.
level gameplay see Goyos actually getting too many kills, but you do see them get a decent amount of damage. Or sometimes, so interesting to see if this will be one of those occasions. As there are just some bullets going out inside from the defenders, as it does look like Fatality are going to go for a third floor down Claire, so just making sure there's no one roaming up on third floor. That can just be pesky, as some teams do like to put one person up there just to be a bit of a hassle. However, Vulcan are not, and are instead just opting for the Vigil to be playing in pillars. But has dropped down Skylight by the looks of things. Will shoot default, but that will give away his position, as I'm sure Crush will have heard it.
Bomb located
I
by
do,
attackers.
however, believe Crush was spotted by that drone, so his position given away. Yeah, as he exposes himself just to the Buck, and the Buck's able to just light him up. So that will be the main roamer for this Vulcan side, going down early, as it doesn't look like they're going at all for... Yeah, they're not going at all for a bakery push, they are stacking up for a freezer side push. Jaeger peeking out, tagging once, but BT's able to find the Buck with the Nitro Cell. However, the Electric Claw getting destroyed does mean that the wall is able to get open, so it is freeze. Although you lose your Buck, you do get freezer wall open, so it's alright, especially with the fact that you found that pick on Crush very early in the round. As Tiltech just pushes very aggressively into freezer. Might be able to find a pick here if
A bomb has been
Vulcan
located.
aren't expecting him to be that far into sight, but Kaid able to win the gunfight, finds two, finds Tiltech and then Apex afterwards. However, I do believe Mob found Andrew. Might not have been, however,
Attackers dropped the diffuser.
as the Gridlock pushes in and takes off and just gets her head taken off by Kaid. That's a triple now for BTs, as he is just popping off, and then Physics able to find the final kill with that Vector, so that will be Vulcan taking the 6th round, so that does mean now that the worst that they can do is draw it, but that would mean that they would have to surrender 4 rounds in a row to this Fatality side, which is possible, just not likely with how they've been playing so far. That's when they've been winning, they've been looking decently dominant. So, still chances, however. There still is a chance that somehow Fatality will take the step to a draw, just not a very big chance. So, we do see second floor being brought by Vulcan here. So Vulcan, realizing they didn't do too great on their top floor defense, so instead of just like, well, let's just go second floor. What are we gonna lose if we lose it? Oh well, we can just go top floor, and then if we lose that, we can just go to kitchen again, which we've won already. So
Protect your bombs from being
there's no
defused
real
by
harm in going second floor. The reward is better than the risk. So it's interesting as you do usually for the reading side, you do usually see 2 or 3 roamers upstairs, as if the attackers get vertical control of reading, then it's pretty much GG, because they can just run it. If vertical control is gained, then they can just run in plant and then just make it impossible for a retake without the defenders having to clear top floor. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not Fatality are able to find a pick or not.
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
And if they are able to find a KO, whether or not they can capitalize on that pick. As they will more than likely have to push to clear this top floors. If you don't, the defense can do the same thing to you that you would want to do to them, where they can just play vertical and deny you from pushing reading. Which means the rest of the defense's attention can just go to guarding fireplace. Does look like they're going to be going for a red push, as they have opened the red hatch and will start to drone in, so it'll be interesting to see as they do drone down red stairs, just to make sure there's no one there, which there currently is not. So it will be interesting to see how this attack deals with it. However, Tiltec taken out early. I do believe that was with the shotgun through the floor, but that will be BT's using the nitro sound finding the finishing blow. So I'm 99% sure BT's did get that down with the shotgun through the floor, but anyways, he is able to find the final blow with the nitro, so it doesn't really matter how it got down. All that matters is she is taken out. So this man advantage going in favor of Vulcan. However, Helios, I am assuming, trying to go for a flank there, is able to be taken out, unless that was downstairs, but not too sure. Actually, that could have been, it was downstairs? Maybe? No? No, it was over in Cocktail Lab, sorry, but Flora able to find a second after that. Will be taken out by Crush on the Jaeger, however. As he's able to find another kill, or Crush narrowly missing the shots on the Zofia. Will do a lot of damage to her, but will die because of it. So that is top floor control now surrendered to this attack. So playing in reading room is going to be practically impossible now. So be interesting to see what exactly they can do with that. As we will see Apex finding a kill onto the smoke. So it does mean Physics is in a 1v3, but is able to find one and then able to find another. Nitro Cell getting the third, so that is a 1v3 clutch for Physics to win the map. So so that was a good job there to Vulcan, just being able to find the weaknesses on their attacks and exploiting them. And on their defense, just being able to hold strong, and then winning that final round thanks to some nice clutch play from Physics. So I will try to jump straight back into things, as we know the map and everything, but we will go to a quick break, so see you all in probably a minute or two.